Welcome to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I'm your host, Big Mike, back after a short break, a long week in sports. Here to wrap it up, chop it up with you guys, talk about it. Running a three-man weave tonight. You know I can't do this alone. If the Mad Producer podcast Poppy in the building.
Only took us 4 hours, but we're here. Wemby just gave Chet Holmgren the business again. Again. Gave him the business.
I saw him hit a 30.3 and everybody's going crazy, but we're not going crazy about Chet going off the other night. It just doesn't happen.
Well, because he got fucking outperformed tonight by Wemby.
Rudy Gobert put Wemby in a spin cycle. Nobody wants to talk about it. Rudy Gobert put him in a spin cycle.
Yeah, well, talk about this fucking jump shot that just got blocked and Chet Holmgren fucking fell to the ground from the sheer force of Wemby. 28. What was the stat line?
It's all that matters. What was his plus minus?
No, I don't care about his plus minus. I care about actually fucking whooping his ass. 28, 13, 7, and fucking 5 blocks. He'd be real mad if he also wins fucking Defensive Player of the Year.
He's not winning Defensive Player of the Year. He's not winning Defensive of the Year. Rudy Gobert won that weeks ago. Rudy Gobert won that weeks ago.
Ooh. A smart man would put money on Wemby right now to win that award.
Are you that smart man?
I'm gonna put a bet on it. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Let's bring in the ultimate Wemby troll. Anthony is here also to run this three-man weave.
Wemby.
Spurs stink.
I told you guys at the beginning of this year, I just want to be a part of history, and we're witnessing it right now with this man named Wemby. And I told you guys to acknowledge Wemby, and you guys called me a hater. You guys,
hater? No, you're glazing.
Oh yeah, you're glazing. My bad. Sorry, glazing. You said I was glazing. You said I was being a prisoner of the moment. You said, what else were y'all saying? And now look at, y'all actually thought there was a competition between Chet the Fraud and Wemby.
Don't do that.
Y'all actually thought there was a competition.
Well, 12 wins. They have 12 wins.
I'm not talking about that.
We are in March. They have 12
wins. Moving the goalposts. Here's the goalpost. Here's Mike. Moving goalposts. We're talking about this Rookie of the Year competition. You actually thought that there was a competition, Mike. Why would you think that?
That I will get. So I never thought there was competition. I always thought Chet could perform. But
been rigged from the start. Yes.
Wemby has a rocket strap. Wemby was never going to lose this. He was never going to lose it. He got drafted and they put the rocket on his back. He was never losing Rookie of the Year.
But I was hearing all this. Oh, Wemby's going to win it because of the media and all this other stuff.
Exactly,
and I'm just like,
Wemby does control.
He's winning.
Wemby's winning it because he's clearly better than Chet. Clearly better.
Individual statistics, yes, he's better than Chet.
He's
not. But
he has more blocks than damn near half the teams in the league.
Wemby could drink Gatorade on the sidelines and be put on ESPN's Twitter. Like he does anything, and he's the poster boy of this. Like I'm not saying Wemby doesn't deserve it because that's very disingenuous and wrong if you say he doesn't deserve it, Michael. But it's not. He's going to run away with it. He's going to run away with it.
And you keep mentioning the Spurs record. I mean, who does Wemby play with again?
Spurs. Don't do that.
Spurs, because wasn't you the one that was screaming impact? Wasn't that your exact word? Impact. He made him play better because he's on the floor.
Wemby's Wemby's impact is phenomenal. All right, his teammates just suck. His teammates
phenomenally
suck.
negative.
Right? He has a bunch of selfish, immature teammates that don't know how to get him the ball. They play for themselves. There's no chemistry there. That's why they're going to get rid of damn near half the people on that team.
It's not true.
Wemby can't do it all.
So why
Wemby can't do it all?
Wemby's like a minus like 700 on the season.
So actually, why? Because he's only shooting 46% from the field. So how's he dominating? He's only shooting 30% from three. So what are you talking about?
As a rookie, what is his stat line this year? Across the board,
he's
it's insane.
20 and 10, 3 blocks,
and
3+ blocks, actually.
3 blocks and 3 assists.
20, 10, 3 and 3. That's
Chet is averaging 17.
Litzy running away.
2 and 2. Well, I mean,
in his first year,
2.7. I don't know if you're saying 3 and change, Dylan. Then you would have to give me 3 and 3 because it's the same. It's literally
no. I'll give you that. You could have 3. I'll take my 3 and change.
So 17, 8, 3 and 3 on a team that has
an MVP candidate.
30 more wins.
The problem is
30.
The only way Chet was going to win this is if Wemby wasn't in it. And Wemby is the only other rookie. Wemby also has a better stat line. This is not a winner award. It's a better stat line.
But winning matters.
Not for rookie of the year. It does not matter.
But Chet is
not when you're shy. Not when you're shy, Gilgeous-Alexander.
If that's the case, Carmelo Anthony should have won the Rookie of the Year over LeBron James.
He should have. That was rigged.
Yeah, that was rigged. He should have won that.
LeBron was rigged.
Winning doesn't.
Carmelo absolutely should have won Rookie of the Year.
The only award that winning factors in is MVP. It doesn't.
That makes no sense. It's
the
same thing.
Because most rookies are put into dog shit situations. So why is winning a criteria?
Because if you're impacting winning. If you're
the only way you're
game
going to
is
get
good,
that
you're impacting winning.
Is if you are the reason. That's the only way you can do that. If you are the reason.
The Thunder have 41 wins if Chet isn't playing?
Probably, yeah.
Because I saw the Thunder last year without him only win 30 games. They have 41 right now. What's the difference between last year and this year?
Shai also ascended.
So we're okay.
Shai really ascended.
Shai also ascended. So you got to give credit where credit's due.
So does Chet get no credit for that? Then that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not going to give Chet
11
no
games is because Shai got 11 games better.
Again, they I think as a whole they got better. They got there another year together. They all got older. They all got mature. They all got better.
I ask you, if Chet wasn't on this team, you think they have the same record?
You could replace 17 points.
You can't replace his defense. Like you can't sit here and tell me the Thunder would be the same team if Chet wasn't on that team. You can't convince me.
I'm not going to sit there and be the same.
They would be the Kings.
Seed.
That's what they would be, the Kings.
It all depends on who you replace him with. That I can't look into the crystal ball and be like, oh, we replaced Chet Holmgren with fucking JaVale McGee. Then it's not the same. Like, you could find 17 points. Again, they also went and got Gordon Hayward too. So like that team is good. That team is a good deep team.
He has not been there the whole time.
No, I'm not saying he has, but like you could still go get Gordon Hayward without having Chet Holmgren.
I could take Wemby off the Spurs, and they still have 12 wins.
Again, Wemby has not been a positive impact. He has not had a positive impact on that team. But that's just a lot of a mixture of everything. But Wemby is second place right now in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. So I would hop on that. Plus 1,600? Shit.
Show us the bet slip next week. Show us the bet slip.
Bet.
Show it to us. Can't wait till you lose. Can't wait. I will
listen. And if it hits because Rudy Gobert just disappears, I look like a fucking genius. About all these French fucks, the French fuck that I like wins.
We're not going to defensive player of the year yet. Rudy put him in a blender last week.
Listen, Rudy Gobert's got a grudge against Victor Wembanyama from when he was 16 and he gave him fucking buckets on Team France.
Put him in a spin cycle and dunked in his face and ran up court.
Rudy got a grudge because he got embarrassed by a 16-year-old. It's all right.
And much like the media, our group chat was crickets.
I didn't watch it. I can't. The thing is, I can't be around for everything. I get told I live in the chat, and I've been doing my best to not live in the chat. But all of a sudden, when Dylan's not active in the chat, stirring the fucking pot, Anthony's just like, "What happened to our conversations? We haven't had a deep, meaningful conversation in the chat in like 3 days." What happens?
I think it was 2 days.
The director of chaos isn't there to stir the pot.
To just cause nonsense. That's why. And it's the down period in sports. There's nothing really for you to stir the pot about.
Everything. I can stir the pot about everything. I stirred the pot today. I was watching Instagram Reels and I started stirring the pot with Anthony.
The only pot that you're wrong about is Josh Hart being better than Bruce. He is.
Let's get in the mud.
A much better player.
Did Josh Hart help you today?
No, we lost.
Get the fuck out of here. What about the previous night? Get the fuck out of here.
We lost.
Get the fuck. What is the Knicks are 2-9 since Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson started a podcast.
3-7.
They should probably like chill for a bit. Not everybody should. Granted, their pod is very entertaining. I think their dynamic is really good. My favorite clip is Jalen Brunson talking about his dad at the 3-point contest. About how Rick was calling him a bum. Because he was sitting there shooting, all of a sudden I hear a bald guy call me a bum. It's my dad. And I'm like, that's the most me thing of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The most me thing of all time.
Yeah, bum.
Yeah, bum. Especially because Jaden started playing basketball at school.
Oh, the clock ticks till he
ticks.
Joins the lineage.
He'll be with me this summer, putting shots up. Kid's got natural form.
That's good.
Good thing. It runs in our blood. In our blood. Shooting's in our blood.
Is it? Steven can shoot?
Apparently he can. I don't know. He says he can. I've never played basketball with him. He says he has a line drive shot like Ray Allen and it's wet, and I don't believe him.
Neither do I.
I don't believe him at all. I could be very wrong.
Still,
at the same time, I could be very wrong.
We still also have not had our soy free throw shooting contest where
y'all are losing.
I am going to pack y'all
are losing.
Up. I'm going to pack y'all up, and I'm going to enjoy.
That's what I do, Michael.
Every second of packing y'all up in this free throw shooting contest.
Do y'all hear the delusion in this pod?
I went when I went back to the basketball court to move around for a bit. The jump shot didn't go nowhere. It's still there. I went and hit like my first 7 from 3, and I was like,
so you think you win a free throw contest between them?
I'm an 80% free throw shooter.
But I don't think you're gonna win, Dylan.
I think I will. I think I will. Anthony, anytime, anywhere, any place. Like, what are we doing? If anything, if we learned anything about me, I'm about it. There's no bitch in my blood. I will show up.
So, Mike, are you confident that you can win this?
Yes, that's why I started the conversation.
I don't think you're going to win either.
I'm going to win.
But I don't think you're going to win.
Anthony, you look like you.
I think either.
He looks like he's.
There's nothing more satisfying than seeing people who are confident and thinking they're actually going to win something like this.
I also will beat the dog shit of all of you in 1-on-1, including you, James. So, including you, James. So,
well, that one I cannot do, and I will give that one to you because I'm peg leg stew right now. So,
because Anthony, I will tell you where I'm going to go, and you will not stop me. I promise you. I will tell you exactly what I'm going to do, and you will not stop me.
I'm still waiting for this 2-on-2. I'm still waiting for this 2-on-2.
Yeah, we did.
But the 2-on-2 is evolved now because Dylan and James have blood beef now, so it's changed now. It
won't be blood beef.
It was Dylan and James against Anthony and Roz, but now James and Dylan just have beef now.
There's a respect. There's a respect to it. We have a blood beef. It's like when Goku and Vegeta fight each other, but then have to team up. But when they team up, you really want to fuck with Goku and Vegeta if they're on the same page?
Nope.
This motherfucker.
So
listen, you don't want to, but I will give you the fucking work, James.
For those
Anthony,
of you that are wondering,
right hand, cross, tween, pick up, right elbow, pull up. You're not stopping me.
Wow.
You're not stopping
diagram
me.
the play for you.
You're not stopping me.
Oh my
Very
god.
next play, I will go left side, in and out, cross, right, left elbow, pump fake, up and under, off glass. You're not stopping me.
Wow. He told you he's going to pump fake you.
I promise you.
He told you to pump fake.
Because the second you see the jump shot go in, you're falling for it. Because I am a shooter. So I promise you, you are falling for it.
Wow.
Promise. Promise.
That is
no.
Can't wait for the weather to break here in the Northeast.
I know. People are doing a lot of this summer delusion talk, but we'll have to wait and see.
That's why I'm like, that's why it's like it was cool talking to Mario because Mario knows. Mario has gotten a lot of it before. Mario recently got it where he was all up in me. I'm just like,
hey.
Bam. Not stopping me. When it's on, bro. Not stopping. Can't stop.
Those of you wondering, I have a knee injury right now, but I will be back.
And it's all James's fault.
It absolutely is James' fault. We won't get into it, but it absolutely is James' fault that I have this knee injury. But just know I am on the IL for 4 to 6 weeks, folks. But I will be back.
Vilified. Michael's vilified.
I was vindicated is what I was, Dylan. As soon as that doctor confirmed.
The second you said it, I was like,
For months, ladies and gentlemen, in our group chat, I was saying I had this. I'm not going to say what the injury is, but I was saying it.
Beat you down.
I was saying it. I have this injury, and James could care less when we went to Atlanta. And sure enough, boom, knee injury was legit, and I've had it for months, just toughing it out, just walking on it, crippling myself slowly every day. And it all started with James. It's all his fault. But it's all right. We are rebuilding as we speak. We are rebuilding. But let's move on. We haven't even really started the show. Let's that was our first segment because that's 17, right?
That is our first segment.
Let's stick with basketball. We'll ease into. We're actually going to go into Caitlin Clark because I don't think we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark for 20 minutes. So as we are recording this right now, she is 18 points away from breaking the NCAA all-time points record.
Pistol Pete.
Man, woman, boy, girl, dog, cat, cow, doesn't matter. She scored more points than all of them. She's 18 points away. She's going to get it. But they do have a tough. I'm very interested to see how she plays because they're playing, I believe, Ohio State is ranked 2 right now, 2 or 3. And it's going to be senior night. They're going to have a whole thing for her because she declared for the draft today. It is going to be a scene. They are going to be boo-hooing. They are going to be boo-hooing and crying all over the place. ESPN College Game Day is going to the game. It is going to be as Gorilla Monsoon would say, it's going to be a happening. It's going to be a happening.
Season.
And Dylan, we are in progress. I am at 8, just so you know. I'm at 8. Hey, I'm at 8 on this day. It's looking good for your boy.
I see clearly everything has come to light.
But thoughts. So Anthony, I missed the beginning of the argument in the chat. I don't want to discredit who started the conversation.
It was Anthony.
It was Anthony. Okay, so Anthony brought up a very good question. When she breaks this record, will that make her the greatest college basketball player? Did you say female or period?
No, female.
Female college player of all time. I don't think so. I think Actually, I already think she's established herself in the top 10, maybe top 7. I have to think about it.
Because for me, I think Kelsey Plum would have been like 7. And
I think
if
she's had a better career than Kelsey.
She's had a better career than Kelsey Plum. So she definitely cracks that. So she's definitely 6, maybe 5, depending on who's in front of her. But I know for sure there's 4 girls in front of her that she can't touch.
And for me, like it's just there's a couple that they're untouchable because they have multiple championships, not even just one. Because if it was one, I could understand the argument, but
I don't even think it's multiple championships. For me, it's they have multiple of the individual accolades that you need.
Players of the year.
They have Naismith Players of the Year, Wooden Awards, Press Player of the Years. They have multiple of those things on top of
championships.
3 straight championships. 4, never not winning a championship in your college career, Breanna Stewart. Like there's Cheryl Miller being the GOAT. Like there's certain things you can't do it like you can't like ignore, and those things you kind of can't ignore. She just doesn't have enough to be ranked higher. But shout out to her. That because I don't want to make it seem like we're shitting on her, but like kind of hard to shit on somebody you put in the top 5 all time.
I get that a lot because I don't think she's going to be a superstar in the W. So it sounds like I'm hating on her a lot. And Dylan, I want to get your opinion on this because I know Anthony's going to roll his eyes when I say this. But over the last week, because we've been off for 2 weeks, so I've had a lot of time to think. I have 2 people in sports that I compare to Anthony's beloved Taylor Swift. I think Caitlin Clark is the Taylor Swift of women's college basketball. And I think Steve Kerr is the Taylor Swift of coaching. Because I think he's tremendously average, but has a lot of accolades. And I actually might be insulting Taylor Swift by comparing her to Steve Kerr, but I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with it. But Caitlin Clark, I
wasn't expecting that one.
I'm just going with it. I can safely. I'm thinking about it. Kelsey Plum was a bucket. She could shoot from anywhere too, but I'm pretty sure Clark. She's the greatest female shooter of all time, college wise. Sabrina was.
Sabrina got a challenge for her. Sabrina's also top 10 all time college basketball player.
We don't even talk about Sabrina's college career anymore, and it was unbelievable. She was getting triple doubles like it was nothing.
Yeah, but Caitlin Clark, her offensive prowess, like, and maybe it's just recency bias for me, but what I've seen from her is just like, goddamn, like the way she just be dropping buckets like it's nobody's business. Like
she, I think the Taylor Swift argument's ridiculous. I think that's absolutely insane because you know how much I hate Taylor Swift, but like what Caitlin Clark is doing is literally what Steph Curry was doing at Davidson.
Similar, yes.
Literally, what Steph Curry was doing at Davidson is what Caitlin Clark.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, she could be really fucking good in the WNBA. I think she'll be a superstar.
She'll be a superstar. She'll have the media coverage.
She'll have not in Indiana.
No, I don't think it's going to matter.
I think it will because you already don't cover it. Like, it already doesn't get covered correctly unless you.
Pulling out the Gatorade
in Vegas or New York.
Pulling out the Gatorade.
Unless you're
how much Gatorade do you have?
Oh, I have.
He had like 8.
I have quite a few more.
But outside of Vegas and New York, you weren't getting a lot of the coverage because those were the 2 teams, and Indiana is bad. So,
my argument will be. Her first game will be on TV.
It has to be.
Oh, yeah.
Her first time she plays Vegas will be on TV. The first time she plays Sabrina, it will be on TV.
And she'll lose by 40.
And I don't think that Indiana team's going to be that bad because Aaliyah Boston's going to be on that team too. And them two together could instantly change things.
The problem I don't see happening, like the thing I don't see happening is I don't see them guarding her at half court. They're not going to do that Steph thing where you kind of have to press up on him when he cross. She's going to step into a million threes a game, and she's going to average like 25 as a rookie.
Yeah, I just don't think
they're just not going to win games. That's the thing. They're just not going to win games because she doesn't play defense well. She doesn't play defense well.
And those girls, those point guards in the W, they can hoop. And she's going to have to learn to move her feet, just like Sabrina had to learn to move her feet because Sabrina is just now getting good, and she's in what, year 3, year 4?
Year 4.
And her first 2 years,
she got injured and then wasn't looking great.
And it's not easy to carry a team, and then
flashes, but she didn't have it.
And they had to go build a team around her. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Indiana. They're going to just think, oh, she can just carry us like they did Indiana, like she does in Iowa. And no, this is a professional league. That ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. She's going to run. Iowa's going to run to South Carolina and catch work.
Yeah, I don't
because that South Carolina team is a fucking.
They're not going to
military base.
I'm going to give you guys a spoiler alert. South Carolina is going to be my pick for the women's college championship. Don't care. I don't care. South Carolina versus everybody. Don't care.
Line them all. Literally, they are a regimented machine.
Line them all up. Dawn Staley's knocking them down.
Dawn Staley is a dog.
Should be coaching in the NBA now. Right now.
She does not give a fuck.
You can't tell me Dawn Staley wouldn't be able to coach men in the NBA because she will look the right at you stink. Do what? What? You stink. Sit down.
I saw an interview with her asking why their practice team is boys or men. And she's like, nah, they're out here cooking. Like we use them to make us better. They get rings. They come along with everything. They're the reason we're as good as we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, good for him. Let them cook. Let them cook. I used to work with a guy who was on the practice squad team for UConn's women team.
It's not out of pocket thing.
Yeah. And he was like, I went there on alumni day and Diana Taurasi came and she fucking cooked us.
I tried.
Us.
You guys have been in the chat. You see, I tell James all the time, these girls would cook you. If you got on the court with them, some of these girls will cook you.
I believe it.
Hibachi style, cooking you. Making you reconsider yourself in this game of basketball. Because for some reason, and James is not like this, but there's a lot of guys on Twitter, especially, that just think these girls, all they can do is lay up and shoot. They can't do it. All I have to do is push her a little bit. She's
talking about those loser guys who thinks it's still cool to hate on WNBA basketball and shit.
Yeah. All right.
They're so corny. Like,
so she's just pretty. She can okay. All right.
Yeah,
I promise you, Asia Wilson is giving you buckets. And she's posting you, and you can't stop it. And you can't.
Most of those dudes are just those dudes are lousy, out of shape, and can't even play. They can't even ball. They're sitting on their couches just typing away. Just a bunch of keyboard warriors. Yeah.
Like, granted, I can be the guy that enjoys NBA basketball, tell you there's a lot of high-level basketball, while also telling you a lot of it sucks. A lot of it's bad.
Bottom of the WNBA is still got work to do.
And there's only like 8 teams. So,
but boy, as me and Dylan will, especially me, that top elite, that top 4, top 5.
Top level's crazy. Top level's super competitive. Bottom level is fucking. We could probably get a high school team to beat them. That's how bad they are.
They need to get these girls that play internationally. They need to get them.
They need to make them want to have a reason to.
Yeah,
but they can't get the revenue.
Some of them girls that play in Turkey and in Russia, and some of those girls come over here,
filthy,
and we got a league.
And if Liz Cambage can figure out how not to fight every teammate she has,
not be racist,
be racist, and fight every teammate, because if you want to be real here, she's probably the best player in basketball. But we're not ready to have that conversation.
I don't know. I've seen Asia give her buckets too.
And I've seen Liz score like 67
buckets.
I've seen Liz score 67.
Liz,
but I don't think that girl. I don't think
like
she
20 rebound game.
I could be wrong, but I don't think she loves the game. I think she's just good at it. She's just good at it.
She's a model.
Like Asia Wilson loves this. Asia loves this. Jewel Lloyd loves this.
Yeah,
it's this difference. Mm-hmm. Like Anthony, I don't know if you know who Jewel Lloyd is. I promise you, I'm trying to be funny, but in all seriousness, she would drop you. Bang bang. She would tell you what she's gonna do in 4 dribbles and leave you standing in 4 dribbles. I'm purposely trying to be funny, but she is very good. She's very good.
I believe it.
She's very good.
I believe it.
And as you guys have heard me say multiple times, Chelsea Gray, shot for my life. She is still in my top 5 right now. Shot for my life. She's in the top 5 of who I'm giving the ball to, because that is a clutch bucket if I've ever seen one. Anthony. Top 5 shot for my life. I'm giving her the ball and saying, I'll see you later, Lord. It's not my time. Not my time yet. You ain't getting me yet.
Can we take this time, since we're talking about WNBA, to shout out Sabrina for almost beating Steph in a 3-point shootout?
I was so
ready.
I was ready to talk.
I wanted her to win so bad. I wanted her to win so bad.
Like, I know it's a little late, but like, I get what Kenny Smith was trying to say after or like during.
He's lucky. He's lucky he still has a job, because he was sounding crazy on the
television. Yeah, bro, he was wild a little bit.
She would have won the men's 3-point contest.
She would have beat.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would have beat. If she'd have went second, that would have been very interesting. Steph going second, I knew she was in trouble as soon as I seen Steph was going second, because I was like, yeah, Steph knows what he got to do.
That's it.
But if she went second,
hey,
you might have
you never know.
There's only
never know.
2 greatest of all time 3-point shooters are Sabrina Ionescu and Joe Harris. They're the only 2 people that beat Steph in a 3-point contest in the finals.
Don't feed into his nonsense, Anthony. Don't feed into his nonsense.
How do you determine whether somebody's the best, Anthony? You beat them at what they're the best at, right?
Oh, God.
If Sabrina beats Steph Curry in a 3-point contest, then she's the greatest of all time. Joe Harris already beat Steph Curry in a 3-point contest.
It means nothing.
He won the contest. He won.
Next
Just like if I beat you guys in a free throw competition, I am the greatest free throw shooter on this podcast. You may disagree, but I beat you.
Yet, if we all went and played in a league and Anthony shot 90% from the free throw line for the rest of his life, but you beat him that day, you're still better than him? No.
Did I beat him in a contest?
You beat him that day.
I beat him in a contest.
You won that day.
I beat him in a contest.
You won that day.
But I won the contest.
That doesn't make you better.
Yeah, but by that logic, Dirk Nowitzki's a better player than LeBron James.
Exactly. Like, what are we doing?
Since he beat him in the finals.
LeBron, Dwayne Wade,
I'm doing a
Chris
one-on-one
Bosh.
thing. I'm not doing a team thing. I'm doing a one-on-one thing, a one-on-one scenario, where the only thing that can be determined whether somebody is better than somebody else is you shoot 10 free throws, I shoot 10 free throws. The winner and the greatest of all time at this one thing that we're doing right now is determine whether you miss or I make it.
So Joe Harris is a better 3-point shooter than Steph Curry?
You've never heard me say this? Joe Harris is the greatest.
So you'd rather have him? So you'd rather have him on your team than Steph Curry?
Not only did I rather have him, I did have him.
Screaming in typical Dylan fashion, screaming for him to come back, get the ball, and then when he comes on the floor, you realize he stinks. Get him off the floor.
No, Joe Harris was always hurt. He was always hurt, and then his last thing I remember is him being bad. When everybody else got hurt, I was like, oh boy.
Get him off the floor. Get him off the floor.
Speaking of hurt, ain't Ben Simmons out again?
Yeah, he hurt his leg.
No.
Hurt his leg. But again, back to Sabrina. Shout out to Sabrina. She went out there and she busted ass. and she did better than a lot of those fucking Twitter trolls thought she was going to.
Mm-hmm. I was in here screaming when she started out like that. Screaming in here, go, go, go. And then she got cold. She cooled off in the middle and she heated up again at the end. But
a silly man bets against Steph Curry, but there was no part of me that thought Sabrina had zero chance. She had as good of a chance as anybody to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
She might be the best chance to beat him.
I'm telling you, if she'd have went second,
they might have to run this back.
Well, I've already heard people saying run it back and bring Caitlin Clark in here, and so okay, all right,
bring Caitlin Clark. I would love to see that.
She can get packed up.
You got so much hate. You got so much hate.
Such a I felt the hate in that. Really, like, goddamn,
well is shoot, and you're
like come on. Like, come on, Mike. What are we doing here, man? If Caitlin Clark is in it, if Caitlin Clark is in it next year, I'm putting a wheel spin that she's winning. Putting a wheel spin
over Sabrina.
Over Sabrina, yeah. She would pack.
I can't wait till this summer.
Take that.
Can't wait till this summer. For WNBA All-Star Weekend, because you know they do that at WNBA All-Star Weekend, Anthony.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to bring this right back up. I'm going to bring it right back up.
Oh yeah, bring it up. Bring it up. Clip it, all that. Wheel spin.
Cool.
One of the greatest offensive players I've seen in fucking college basketball. Fuck all that. I'll safety shooter
in the WNBA.
And she gonna get packed up.
She is probably top 5 3-point shooters living right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, Caitlin Clark is gonna pack her up. Okay. She's gonna get packed up, man.
Can't wait.
I don't care about these.
Bart Scott. Can't wait. Can't wait.
On a night where she's literally about to break the record, we're talking about fucking she has no chance. Like, fuck out of here, man.
She's not beaten. Sabrina went into that 3-point contest and literally didn't miss a single shot. She has the highest point total. No, I'm not talking about Steph. I'm talking about the WNBA one. She has the highest point total ever in a 3-point contest. Higher than Steph, higher than Dame, higher than Larry, who also went in and didn't miss. She has higher point total than him.
And she still would lose.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
You're just living in the moment.
People just don't acknowledge greatness. It's all good.
You can acknowledge greatness while also being like, "Hey, let's be for real here."
We are being for real here.
Okay.
Okay.
I will bring that up, and we can do wheel spins.
And it will be fun.
We can do wheel spins.
It will be right after Anthony's prediction that the Raiders will win 13 games. I can't wait for
I gotta see how the draft goes before I start making those kind of predictions.
You already started making predictions. You gave a list.
I made my way too early predictions. Those are only the first tier.
Literally, not even a second after I said, "Please wait until after the draft to send this." You're like, "Too late. I sent it."
Nah, because when you typed it out, I was already on like the 7th team. I was like, nah, it's too late. Nah.
Just wait. You don't even know what your team looks like.
I don't even know who your quarterback is yet.
And you got a loser calling your offensive plays.
Oh God, dude, I don't think you like any of the new coordinators that were hired this offseason.
Not true. I think the majority of teams got it right. There was a handful of teams that did not.
Who didn't get it right besides us?
The Chargers. Greg Roman was an awful hire. Awful hire.
I wouldn't say awful. Curious, but not awful. Because it's not
like
the Ravens weren't getting yards or anything. They were just very predictable.
They don't scheme wide receivers open in that system.
That is a problem. But it's not like
you're going to
the offense wasn't getting yards and wasn't scoring though.
They did it in spite of it. Like, you knew what was going to happen, and you just had fucking Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So, but I don't think
Greg Roman has more success than the Raiders offensive coordinator. Like, top level, he's had more success than not success. The problem is he overstays his welcome by the second year that he's calling plays.
That's why I said it's a curious hire, but I don't think it's.
They're going to run the ball so well, but they're going to probably cut Mike Williams, probably get rid of Keenan Allen, and you're not going to have anything.
No, they can't get rid of both of
them. They're probably going to have to.
I don't think they're going to get
rid of them. They got to get rid of them.
Get rid of Mike Williams.
Mike Williams is going to be
brittle. Keenan Allen's
brittle. He's a little bit more healthier than Mike Williams.
They're both brittle. They're both glass bones, paper skin.
Yeah, but I would still Keenan Allen is still more reliable.
Keenan Allen is probably the most unrelated.
They got to hope and pray Quentin Johnson can make some kind of leap or bear some kind of resemblance to his college self. Because he was a
no football to me when he's healthy. But like,
Keenan Allen was balling last year.
I just don't know when it's going to happen. But again, most underrated wide receiver in football. But I don't. Maybe his talent will fight through Greg Roman's offensive scheme, but I don't know what Justin Herbert's doing to deserve these bad offensive coordinators. What football god is he fucking praying to, where he just keeps getting dog shit coordinators to make this happen? It's like how Brock Purdy's praying for the right football guys because everybody just drops his interceptions. Justin Herbert's probably fucking football Lucifer, just getting dog shit.
He's also not that guy, though.
Whatever, like, you do things to make sure he is that guy because you wasted a premium pick on him. Do things to help him be that guy.
I'm starting to look at Herbert the same way I look at Trevor Lawrence. I don't, like, not as bad, but Justin Herbert, I think he's slightly overrated.
Doug Peterson's going to end up ruining Trevor Lawrence because he's not.
He's ruining him.
No. He's going to end up because it's.
No, I don't want to hear that.
He did in Philly, where he's going to refuse to get rid of his offensive play callers, and then he's going to have to leave. When all he had to do was just fire his offensive play callers, and or his offensive coordinators, and bring in a new staff, he refused to. So he's going to force himself out of there. The same way, Trevor Lawrence is going to be in like that purgatory spot where he's a good, talented quarterback. It's just you need to get him the proper play callers, or else it's going to be stupid.
We'll see. I am driving that train too because Trevor Lawrence might not be that guy. But
never lost on a Saturday. Undefeated on Saturdays.
What?
Trevor Lawrence has never lost a football game on Saturday.
The most ridiculous stat ever.
He's definitely been defeated on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays.
Playoff game on Saturday.
He's also missed a lot of throws on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays.
Listen, you put him in a playoff game on Saturday, he not losing.
I'm sure he will.
Has never. Has never.
Listen, Dylan, the Trevor Lawrence I saw for most of this year was not that guy.
The same Trevor Lawrence
saying
that he's been since he's come in the league.
You're also a hater because he's in your division.
But I have not been wrong. Have I been wrong? I said Justin Herbert's not that guy. And Justin Herbert's not that guy. Trevor Sunshine is
Justin
not
Herbert
that guy.
has a lot against him.
Trevor Lawrence was looking like that guy the year before this past one. He was. And then he regressed.
Until the lights got bright. And then guess what? He wasn't that guy.
They had an epic.
I said,
help with the playoff game.
If you follow his career and look at Sunshine in winner-take-all games, he's not that guy. The stats are there. He's not that guy.
Now stats matter?
He's not that guy.
The one thing I'll give you Herbert, and it's not entirely Herbert's fault. It's like him having a dog shit head coach and an offensive play caller, a defense that couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed, even though your head coach is a defensive minded guy. A lot of these things are just bad. He had a lot.
Also has not played well.
No, he has not. But he also broken hand. injured receivers. Like, he has been dealt a shit hand.
Yeah, but I hate when we make all these excuses for quarterbacks. Like everyone's going to get injured. Everyone's going to have deficiencies. You know, Burrow played behind a terrible line. Russell Wilson spent half his career running for his life. I mean, there's always going to be an excuse. You know, at the end of the day, when does it get to the point where it's like, okay, we're just making too many excuses? He may just not be the guy.
No,
you know, and I'm not saying Herbert's not. I'm not saying Herbert's not the guy. I just think he's overrated.
I think it's more appropriate for the Herbert conversation because he's had a lot of shit to deal with to be like, okay, maybe he's not. And I don't think the situation got better, to be honest. I don't care, Harbaugh. Just because you were a good coach before doesn't mean you're a good coach now. That's just how.
Well, we got to see what they do with the draft and offseason and whatnot. You know, it's still too early.
It's the Roz thing where Roz like, oh, they're great coaches. He called John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh one of the greatest head coaches of all time. I'm like, he coached the NFL 4 years. Stop it. he coached the NFL 4 years. Stop it.
I see where Roz is coming from. It's too small a sample size.
And Roz's stats are end all be all. So
stats are end all be all. So there's no way he can fathom.
But statistically, he is because
he coached 4 years. You can't do that.
He's one of only, I think, 3.
Those are 4 phenomenal years, dude.
Yeah, like he's one of only 3 coaches to win a national championship in college and get to a Super Bowl. Like that is a real thing. Whether he won it or not, he did that.
Again,
but I will agree. 4 years
coach in the NFL. I can't call him one of the greatest like coaches ever in the NFL.
But the problem is going to be if he wins the Super Bowl, we're going to have to start looking at him. Like,
and I'm okay with that. The problem is, Roz will overlook the talent that's on a roster because a head coach was good once. Like he did with Sean Payton. He was like, "Oh, Sean Payton, man, we still got Robert Saleh, but blah, blah, blah. We had Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, this season wasn't supposed to happen this way. But I'm supposed to fire everybody because Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles because Jim Harbaugh."
Roz also hates Saleh though.
Because what's his face? Because Sean Payton became available. Everybody who plays for Sean Payton hates him.
I was going to say, but I think he can still coach though. I think X's and O's why he can still coach. His people skills are trendish. They are trendish. That's not a word. Atrocious.
Can't be any worse than Belichick's.
And they've eroded away. But X's and O's wise, I think Sean Payton absolutely still knows what he's doing.
Guess what? Sean Payton wouldn't have fixed his team.
No, he would not have.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Like, again, what are we doing? What are we doing?
As the great GOAT LeBron James once said, the Jets were top heavy as shit.
And then everybody coming out and then
fell. And then the top got hurt 4 plays in. And it was like, oh, there's not.
I still feel bad for y'all.
The most vilified I ever been was listening to that McCole Hardman interview and have him just be like, it was Aaron Rodgers' show. Nobody knew what to do once Aaron got hurt. It's almost like I said that the second we got him. It was.
Especially when you saw Hard Knocks, even though I did enjoy it.
Every time Aaron was going to get a play call, he was like, no. He's like, no, we're not rolling. We're going to run what I want to run. And that's what it was. That's it. That's that offense. It's the plays are there. The person calling the plays is not. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, keep it moving. Maybe he should like be a better play caller. Spending all that time working overtime, and you still don't know how to call an offense.
Yeah, he stinks. He literally ruined Russell Wilson's career.
Harbaugh also wouldn't have fixed this offense because he would have brought in fucking Greg Roman. And Garrett Wilson would be like, trade me. Trade me.
If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on that team, he'd probably be saying that right now.
Listen, I wouldn't blame him. Would you blame him?
I wouldn't blame him, but see,
and he still had 1,000-yard season.
Like, but here's the thing, Anthony. Like, Jet fans and I get they act like Garrett Wilson is a top 5 receiver in this league.
No, that's not true. Don't do that. Don't do that. But he's a dog.
He's not yet, but it's hard to believe
ceiling's there.
It's very hard to believe he won't be next year, given a healthy Aaron Rodgers. He put up 1,000-yard season with Zach fucking Wilson.
Back-to-back seasons.
isn't the worst quarterback to ever play football, like Rods would lead you to believe.
Yeah, he's the second worst quarterback to ever play
he has taught footballs from like 9 different quarterbacks to still have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons is insane.
Yeah, and you gotta remember, Mike, Tim Boyle was throwing him the ball too as well.
The single worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Like, if you look at
Ross can say whatever he wants. I said this when we signed that motherfucker, and then I said it again when he got to play. I was like, I don't know if you know anything about Tim Boyle, but I'll tell you right now, Tim Boyle is the single worst quarterback I've ever seen play football. The single worst. He never was good at football at any point. He wasn't good in high school. He wasn't good in college. He wasn't good in practice squad. He wasn't good in the preseason. He wasn't good in play. That man has like a touchdown to interception ratio of like a 0.1. Like he throws no touchdowns and a billion interceptions. And the only difference between Tim Boyle and Zach Wilson is playing time. Because Tim Boyle would have been worse. He would have been worse.
I remember Rob was talking about like, yo, man, he just was so relieved that someone else was coming in to play quarterback other than Wilson. So I was like, I didn't really know who Tim Boyle was like that. And then you said what you said, and I was like, okay, let me see. And I was like, holy shit, this guy is awful. Like, this guy is brutal.
Again, Aaron runs his team. So whoever Aaron wants, Aaron's going to get. Marquez Valdez-Scantling got cut. Rob's like, he's not going to be a Jet. I'm like, oh, he'll absolutely be a Jet. He'll be one. A.J. Dillon will be one. David Bakhtiari will be one. And then Jordy Nelson's going to be wide receiver 6. They're going to pull him out of his fucking football grave.
So essentially it's going to be the Packers in the East?
Yeah, because it's all Aaron's friends. FOA, friend of Aaron. That's it. That's all I'll say. Whenever a Packer becomes a free agent, you're just going to see me just type in FOA, friend of Aaron. And I will be right. Because I've been right about this whole Aaron Rodgers saga. I've been right about the whole fucking thing. I've read this book before.
Except you, according to you, this would be his last season.
Yeah, this would be his last season. I do feel like he's going to play more now.
He already said he wants to play more.
He said, but I believe him as far as I can throw him. It would not surprise
me. You watch a multi-year contract.
If he were to play in 2025, 2026 season, I'd be like, you're lying to me. You're lying to me. Because I don't believe it. I don't believe him.
Well, we're going to see. We're going to cross that road. But since we're in football, let's talk about another quarterback that had an interesting couple of weeks while we were gone. Cam Newton, fresh off of squashing his beef with Stephen A. and Kimberly Martin and Shannon Sharp. They all made up at the Super Bowl, and it was all good. Cam is uplifting, and Cam is getting all this great pub, and then Cam goes to a 7-on-7, and then this happened.
In that hat, too. Just dressed like that.
Look at him. He's just dragging these dudes. That dude in the white needs to catch it because he tried to sneak in. And he's lucky that Cam did not know that happened because Cam is dragging that man like a child. He's holding this man with one arm while another man is holding him, and he's holding him like a child. This is what I mean when I say people out here in, I don't know, however you're digesting this podcast, these athletes that we see on TV are much bigger than you think they are. They all look average size because they're on TV, and they're all standing next to other giants that are the same size as them. If you see one of these, I will give you an example. As Dylan knows, me and Anthony's actually taller than me, but me and Anthony would be point guards in the NBA. Point guards. I would be me and Steph Curry are the same height. Let that sink in, Dylan. I know you know, but me and Steph Curry are the same height. Cam Newton is taller than Anthony. Cam Newton, and the real fun part about it is All these guys do is train. These guys all have muscles on muscles on. They have professional strength and conditioning coaches. These dudes all have 6% body fat and bench press 300 pounds. There is no average person that is going to scratch Cam Newton and hurt Cam Newton.
And you said it right there.
Run over
professional strength and conditioning team. I was just watching a video on the other day on Myles Garrett off-season training. This man has 2 teams. Not one, he has 2 teams. He has 2 strength and conditioning teams that help him with his meals, his training, his sleep, his recovery, his everything. They are on him 24/7, making sure he is pinpoint every single day, every hour of the day.
They are regimented machines.
Yes,
Perfection.
they are literal machines.
Cam Newton was running over linebackers. He was running over some of the hardest hitting safeties that you'll ever see in the NFL. He was escaping the clutches of Ndamukong Suh and prime Calais Campbell and J.J. Watt and all of these bad fucking guys. You think these fucking 3 dorks are going to take down 6'5", 260 Cam Newton, who's still trying to play
football in high school?
Cam Newton, who's
because you know what they
in the NFL. Cam Newton.
You know what they probably thought? They probably said to themselves, he's been out of the league for a little bit. He's probably stopped taking care of his body like that. He's probably not in the gym like that no more. They probably think all these athletes just fall off once they retire.
I'm going to tell you what they thought, Anthony. They saw that Wicked Witch of the West hat. And
yeah, I think it was that.
Talking spicy. And in their mind, because the last time that they saw Cam wasn't playing well at New England. So they think, oh, Cam is soft. Cam is washed up. Cam is and the funny part is because they've been watching Cam their entire life, they think Cam's old. They think Cam can't move. They don't realize that Cam is a 35-year-old prime of his life man.
Yep.
That was not Charles Barkley. That was not. Cam will hurt you if he wants to.
Yeah.
Hurt you.
There is
no
quarterback, I think, ever built the way Cam Newton's built, who takes care of their body the way Cam Newton does. Granted, injuries ruined his shoulder and whatnot, but for
Russell Wilson takes very good care of his body.
Ability that he, his physique and his just everything about him, nobody takes care of himself the way Cam does. Not a single one.
It's like even a washed up Cam Newton is yeah.
And Tebow also took crazy care of his body because that's a large human as well.
Tim Tebow also is a large human that you do not. Now he looks soft, but
Tim Tebow's arms are fucking massive.
A massive man, and if Tim Tebow wants to hurt you, he can. Like Tim Tebow is a massive human being.
But outside of Cam, you could count on one hand the people who take care of themselves who are as strong, fast, quick. You think you're really taking him down? You think you could really do something? It just puts everything in perspective. Like, you forget Cam Newton is fucking 6'5", 260. You forget he's 6'5", 260.
Until that 6'5", 260 man is ragdolling you.
You put it in perspective, like, oh, this guy carried that Carolina Panthers team on his back. Single-handedly carried that team. With Ted Ginn as his number 1 wide receiver.
Could be in the Hall of Fame just for that.
Who else did he have on that team again? Devin Funchess.
Prime Greg Olsen.
He had an old Steve Smith.
No, Steve Smith was gone.
No, he was gone off that Super Bowl team.
He was
in Baltimore at that time.
Yeah, he was gone.
It was Devin Funchess. It was
ACL that year.
Was Kelvin?
Kelvin Benjamin was hurt. Kelvin Benjamin was hurt.
Yeah, he was
really young. Devin Funchess. It was Ted Ginn.
Old
Old D'Angelo Williams. Old Jonathan Stewart.
The Greg Olsen wasn't
prime Greg Olsen. Prime Greg Olsen. It's just they also had like
and they went 15-1.
Defense. They had a really good defense. But Cam Newton offensively, like he still threw a fucking billion yards.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because y'all were yelling at me about Chet Holmgren in this Wemby game tonight. Wemby had 28, 13, 7, and 5 blocks. Chet had 23, 7, and 5 and 2 blocks. What are we doing?
Okay.
That's not the same.
What are we doing?
One is better than the other. Is it not?
That's 12 wins.
Who won tonight?
They had 11 going.
Who won tonight?
My wins are a team accolade.
I don't care about your 12 wins.
So then why do we care? So why we care that the Spurs won tonight?
Because I don't care about the 12
I care that Wemby won
tonight.
Wemby had better stats.
He had the better stats, and his team won.
He won his 12th game and got on the microphone and said it feels good to win again.
But today's the present, and then the present Wemby won. Why are we talking about the past?
Anthony, I don't need you talking in this situation here. You're the best thing you can do for me is just sit there and smile, brother. I don't need the Wemby glazing on this one.
Coming from the guy who was rooting for Chet.
You're not helping.
Coming from the guy who was rooting for Chet.
I can root for Chet. I like Chet.
I am the only one who's qualified to speak for Wemby. Because I was writing for him day one, and you guys.
Wembanyama was going to have the single greatest rookie year of anybody ever.
I did not say that.
Sport. Yes, you did. You said.
I did not say that.
You did. Oh, yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said he was going to have I didn't say rookie. You said
no, you did say rookie. I'm trying to save you here because he said rookie.
Did I say rookie? I'm pretty sure I said greatest year ever.
You even still?
I don't think I said rookie.
That's worse.
That's even worse. Even worse.
Look, at the end of the day, I also said that we are blessed to witness Wemby in the flesh, playing and being in the NBA. And you said I was glazing on epic levels. That is not glazing because you see what he's doing right now. But you see what he's doing right now in his rookie year.
Team.
And he also averages he also has more blocks than damn near half of the teams in the NBA.
Listen, you can't say we're lucky to watch a guy who we won't be watching in 2 months play.
6 weeks.
What are you talking about? You guys are talking about weeks and months. I'm talking about years. I'm talking about decade plus.
We can appreciate it when it's happening in real time when he's playing.
It's happening right now. You're seeing the birth of it right now. You're seeing the birth of it right now.
He's not even having the greatest rookie season of all time.
Was LeBron playing meaningful basketball in his rookie year?
No, and I didn't care. There was only one rookie who was playing meaningful basketball his rookie year in 2003. It was Melo.
So LeBron won Rookie of the Year. How was he not playing meaningful basketball that year?
Because one person went to the playoffs and the other person didn't.
So because he didn't went to the playoffs, that wasn't meaningful basketball?
Correct.
That's insane.
Right now, the Spurs have no chance of doing anything, right? They're just ruining their own chances at draft.
So that means Wemby's performances are being rendered useless because the Spurs, maybe he's just playing out of his mind and trying really hard. He's surrounded by
He's not playing out of his mind.
For a rookie, he's playing out of his mind.
No, he's not.
For a rookie, he's playing out of his mind. For a rookie, he's playing out of his mind.
He's not, though.
But regardless, yes, everything Wemby is doing right now doesn't matter. Doesn't matter a single bit. Their season literally is over.
Anthony, they have 3.
So what? So do they just bench him for the rest of the year?
They have 3 more.
They just bench him for the rest of the year.
They're collecting paychecks. That Pistons team's dog shit. I still think that Pistons team is arguably the worst basketball team I've ever seen. They only have 3 more wins than them.
3 more wins than them. 3.
The Pistons, that Pistons team, playing for nothing. They're playing for nothing.
They're playing for pride.
They're playing for paychecks.
But they play hard every night. They play hard every night. They lose, but they play hard. They'll probably stop playing. They'll probably stop playing competitively in another week or 2. That Knicks loss was a gut punch to them hustling for Monty. That was a gut. That was a gut punch. I said it in real time, Dylan. Did I not? Did I not say? Monty's about to can lose some money because
Yeah,
that non-call
Dante
was
DiVincenzo fucking speared old boy.
That non-call was crazy. And I was right there. I was like, yeah, I don't know what's happening here. Because I told you, even if you watched that last minute, I don't know what the refs were doing in that game. But the Knicks got the dub, so that's really all I care about. But
all that matters.
But man, was them calls terrible.
The Pistons, but Anthony, are the Pistons playing meaningful basketball?
What?
Are the Pistons playing meaningful basketball?
They're trying to play meaningful basketball.
That's not what I asked. Are they playing meaningful basketball?
To them, it's meaningful basketball because they're still playing hard.
I don't think it is.
If you're playing
to them,
well, yeah, because they're trying. They're clearly trying to win games.
The games mean nothing, though.
It's meaningful to them. Then it's meaningful to them.
No,
if you're playing hard, that means the game means something to you.
No, you're playing hard because your job.
That absolutely does.
It's literally your job.
You don't have to.
My job is to show up to a bank and give people money. If I don't show up and give people money, then I'm not doing my job.
Okay.
Your job is to come to play basketball.
We've seen NBA players a lot of times not try. We've seen NBA players a lot of times play like they're not trying. And the Pistons were definitely trying to beat us. They definitely were. It was a very meaningful game to them.
The wins mean nothing.
Quentin Grimes was trying to. He turned into Michael Jordan before my eyes.
Here's what I'll say.
So you don't really believe in playing for pride?
No. Not when you are in a completely losing situation. There is no playing for pride.
So what do you mean? Are we conflating pride with playing hard, though? Like effort? Is that what we're doing? Because the Pistons play hard every night. They compete every night.
Yeah, but the games don't mean anything.
But what I'm asking, so you don't think them playing like that is them playing for pride? Why do you think they're playing hard? Because we've seen teams that the Hornets are not playing hard. The Hornets are not playing for pride. The Hornets get the assignment. Just getting checks.
The Hornets understand the assignment.
But my point is, there's a clear difference between how the Hornets play and how the Pistons play.
I think the Pistons. The reason why I don't think there's at this point there's no such thing as playing for pride. There's nothing to be prideful about in your situation. There's really nothing to be prideful about in your situation. Like
it's a game of basketball, man. You're getting paid. People are coming to the game. You know,
you get paid regardless if you try or not.
If you love the game, you want to put your all into it. I mean, regardless of the record, regardless of whether you go into the postseason or not, you know, it's a pride thing. You still want to play hard, you know.
I think there's only people on that team
pretend.
That way.
But
the rest of them
Dylan, pretend you're Monty. What do you tell your team right now if you're Monty? If you took Monty's place right now, what do you tell your team?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know how Monty does it.
Whatever he told them worked because they promptly went out and beat the Bulls the next night.
Bulls.
Whatever he said to them.
But that's because that matters to them.
The Bulls are also playing meaningless basketball.
No, the Bulls are playing for a playoff spot.
No, they're not. They're playing for a playoff spot. Dylan. Come on.
I would say they're in the play-in right now, Dylan. They are.
It's not hard. Everybody, we're right.
But Dylan, you gotta think about it. These guys are getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. They could easily just stop trying and just be like, "Fuck it, season's over." But they're playing their asses off. That means something. If you're a coach, you just tell your players, "All right, man, we ain't making playoffs."
For Monty more than they're doing it for anything else. I think they believe in.
But that's still meaningful basketball.
Meaningful in the sense where it's like sentimental, but like any vet that's on that team is like, get this fucking season over with. This is terrible.
I think two things can be true.
That's what every fan is thinking. Every Pistons fan is thinking that same thing. He's like, get this fucking season over with. I don't care. I don't care.
You know what vet is not doing that? LeBron James is not doing that because LeBron.
Well, he's just a different person.
Thank you for acknowledging that, Anthony, because he is not from this planet. Because
Anthony has done a weird thing this year where he's just not shitting on LeBron James. He's just understanding that like what LeBron's doing, one will more than likely never be done again, and that it's just insanity. for him to be where he is right now, still doing these things. It's incredible.
What kind of like it kind of dawned on my head because the other day I was watching highlights, old highlights from like the Cavs and the Magic, that series when LeBron like literally put Cleveland on his back, like literally, and I was like, holy shit, this is 2009, like this was 15 years ago, my bad. And even 15 years later, he's still like
doing like on his back.
Yeah, still putting it 15 years later.
That's a whole nother career.
Yeah. He's arguably had, 2 to 3 careers?
2 to 3 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah.
We all go crazy about Kobe had a Hall of Fame career with 8 and a Hall of Fame career with 20. LeBron has done the same thing.
Would you say his first Cleveland stint was a Hall of Fame career?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
You would.
MVP. I believe
dragged that team to the finals.
Dragged the team to the finals,
and they got swept.
And don't mean nothing.
Anthony, were they even supposed to be there?
They weren't. And then they ran into that Tim Duncan
that had. The East was pretty bad during that time.
Detroit Pistons team choked. That Detroit Pistons team because that Pistons team was good.
No, his first stint was phenomenal. When he scored, I think the last 27 points during that Pistons game, like.
And did we not say, Anthony, that Cleveland team was the worst team to get to the finals outside of
probably ever,
ever
outside of that Philly team?
And then you ran into that buzzsaw of
and
the
then
San
ran
Antonio
into
Spurs, where you ran into the greatest power forward of all time at the height of his powers.
Tony Parker, Bruce Brown, a notoriously dirty player, Bowen. Well, they're both dirty, but
Manu Ginobili, Captain
Bruce
Jack,
that was a crazy Spurs team too. Like I get it, Anthony. A game would have been nice, but
they should have swept them.
We would have bet the sweep on that shit. It would have been like over unders 1.
What he did with that Cavs team was phenomenal. I think it was a great stint. I don't see it as a Hall of Fame stint.
And he didn't play bad in that final. He didn't play bad.
He didn't. Because when I look at his Miami stint, his second Cleveland stint, and then his LA stint, like those are 3 Hall of Fame careers to me. The first Cleveland stint was like, okay, very good, couple of really great seasons, but then the playoffs came and, he just really, for the most part, couldn't get there,
What, the second?
That's why I say it's very good. Huh?
The second?
No, I'm talking about his first Cleveland stint. His first Cavs stint.
The first Cleveland stint was filled with a lot of bad, team building. The GM of Cleveland at the time was fucking horrible. Like, oh, hey, LeBron, I know you just brought this team of Drew Gooden and fucking Boobie Gibson to the finals. We're going to give you Anton Jameson right before he retires. and that's going to help.
35
I know people swear. Because I know people swear by 2018 LeBron, but honestly, give me 2012 LeBron any day of the week. I think that's the greatest LeBron ever.
That's an argument. 2016 Bron is
2016 Bron is everything 2012 Bron was, but with the killer instinct that you guys say he didn't have,
or a jump shot that you think he doesn't have.
Because 2016 Bron was fucking different.
You got to go back and watch 2012 LeBron. 2012 LeBron was a cheat code. He was a cheat code of epic proportions.
I watched 2012 LeBron get killed by zone defenses still, though. That's the difference. Where 2016 Bron, a little bit more mature, mentally where he needs to be, has the outside game that 2012 LeBron didn't have, while also still being that freight train.
If Kevin Durant doesn't go to Cleveland, LeBron has 6 rings right now. If Kevin Durant doesn't go to Golden State, LeBron has 6 rings right now. Easily. Terrorizing the league.
Because
Golden State
LeBron was about to win Finals MVP and lost.
The reason why I say Miami LeBron was so dominant is because, let's be honest, he went to that team and basically made that his house. D Wade even had to admit, this is your team now.
Just like Giannis and Dame.
Huh?
Just like Giannis did to Dame.
That's still
pretty much.
Well, to be honest,
but it's still Giannis' team.
That's still Giannis' team, and that's probably why they're struggling right now. Because it probably needs to be Dame's team. They probably need to run through Dame and let Giannis do all the dirty work. But that's another
And
conversation.
Giannis needs to stop being a dumbass. But yeah, that's another.
Don't get Dylan started. Please don't get Dylan started.
I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. I saw Thanasis get another check. I was like, what is he doing?
Conduct detrimental.
Like, I love Thanasis, but it's just like, dude, chill out for a second.
You're doing too much for a guy who sits at the end of the bench. Relax.
You don't think he should be in the league.
You are not the main character of this story.
I like his energy. I'm sorry. I just like it. Like, I love his energy. Like,
he gives off.
I know you don't think
he's that
what are you supposed to do then?
He's that guy who shows up to like a random pickup game in a full like Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan uniform and is diving all over the place playing with like old heads who are like, all right, bro, chill out. That's what the Thanasis is like. All right, bro, your team's up 50. You don't need to be doing any of this. Like, why are you pulling out a sham god? Like, yeah, you're just trying to showboat. You're doing too much. You're doing the most. Why? It's unnecessary. He's an unnecessary human.
Still making that $1.7 million a year, man. Still collecting the paychecks.
Better gig than me.
You have the greatest job in America.
It's a great job. LeBron scored 19 in the fourth quarter, had 5 threes in the fourth quarter against the Clippers.
That's just phenomenal.
21-point deficit. Played very good defense on Kawhi, including getting the stop in the last possession when Kawhi threw up a brick in clutch time.
While also locking up Jordan Poole tonight on the game-winning shot and forced overtime.
That's not a hard thing.
LeBron. He iced up. He said, "Move the fuck out of my way." He just gave Jordan Poole the business. Not hard because Jordan Poole fucking stinks, but
LeBron
while also blocking this fucking young cat. I don't know. He's down. 4 years old.
Here's a question I had, though. It's kind of been on my mind because obviously you heard about LeBron potentially wanting a multi-year max deal. Do you give him that deal?
No.
If you're the GM?
No.
I'm not giving LeBron $60 million a year for 3 years. Would I give him $40 million a year? Yes.
At some point, you have to start treating LeBron like you would treat any other aging person.
No.
Like
not with the way he's playing. Not the way he's playing.
Dylan,
he's literally defying father time as we see.
Looking at Tom Brady.
We're literally seeing. Dylan, you said it yourself. LeBron James is not a normal human being.
He's not, but father time is undefeated. So how do you know after you give this contract? Like, we don't know if this is the last year we're going to get of this version of You're muted.
No, I muted myself for a reason.
Okay.
My mom was.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were yelling at me.
No.
We don't know if this is the last time we're going to get LeBron James at this level.
I'm pretty sure we said that 3 years ago.
Again, I was saying about Tom Brady for 10 years, right? But like at some
point,
you
wanted that.
I did. I also want a lot of other bad things to happen to Tom Brady, but I can't go into. But like at
you had one of them.
At some point, you have to, as an organization, be like, is it really wise for us to invest into a 40-year-old old man like this?
It is.
But this is not the same. Again, we've already separated LeBron from the average NBA, from the normal NBA player, from the normal NBA superstar. Fuck player. LeBron James is not a human being. We've already established that. Realistically, probably 12 years ago, if we're gonna be brutally honest. He's not a normal human being.
It's the GM in me where I'm just like, listen, like you can't let him go for free, obviously, but like you have to see what you can get because some team is gonna be dumb to give LeBron like a 6-year contract.
Well, I don't think that's
no disrespect to Kobe. I love Kobe, but remember his last few years when the Lakers were just giving him all that money and he was clearly washed. I mean, this is not the same scenario.
It's not the same scenario, but like you never know. That's the hard part about this. Is like we know LeBron is a freak, but like how much longer can he keep this up?
how big do you think the drop off could possibly be going into next year if there was going to be a drop off?
He could average 18 a game.
He could.
But if he goes from averaging 25 plus to 18, you're like, oof.
I feel like his assist, but LeBron is smart enough. I feel like his assist would then go up.
Yeah, but then it's like who's around him.
If you design a Lakers squad where LeBron could take a backseat role,
we've been saying that
that's a great
how
situation.
long? Anthony Davis was supposed to be the guy who takes over Batman so LeBron can coast.
Yeah, but I don't think AD has been. He's done it at times, but he hasn't fully taken that role.
He's played well. LeBron is who are you
going to get to play that role? Like, that's the problem. How are you going to get somebody to do that? We've been saying for years now that, like, hey, LeBron needs to be able to be Robin. He's never in a situation where he has to. So here he is at fucking 38 years old having to still be Batman.
39. I say LeBron knows his body. He clearly said he'll retire when he feels like he can't play, and he feels great. He said he could play for the next several years. I'm giving him that max deal because it's not just as a GM, it's also good for business too. It's not just a talent thing. For business, it makes sense to give LeBron whatever the hell he wants and keep him in LA.
It's also like it's the same thing I think with
that's the same reason why they gave Kobe all that money, if we're gonna be honest too.
It's the same thing I think with Aaron Rodgers. You have to prepare for life after Aaron Rodgers, just like you have to prepare for life after LeBron James. Like, it's going to happen sooner or later. So you should start putting your chips in a row to make sure that transition isn't fucking bad.
Which it will be.
Which it's going to be terrible.
And
you don't
Roz
just lose.
Complaining
but Roz wants it. Roz wants the life after LeBron yesterday.
He did. He wanted them to trade him.
Watch, they're gonna after a Western Conference final run, after calling for trading LeBron, they should have did it. Gets to the Western Conference Finals. Man, I told you they should have traded LeBron. You wouldn't have the draft lottery sucks. Like the NBA draft lottery sucks. Name me 5 rookies right now. Go.
The NBA draft lottery sucks.
Chet doesn't count.
Oh wait, like
honestly, outside of like the top 5-7 players,
Chet doesn't count because he wasn't in this draft. So for the sake of
Chet technically wasn't in this draft.
Name me 5 players in this draft this year.
I can't name him. Scoot,
Henderson, Miller. Scoot is actually playing well. Ivy on Dallas is playing well.
Ivy, Lively,
Jaden Ivy.
Jaden. I was about to say Jaden Ivy. I was like, Jaden Ivy's not a rookie.
Lively.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah,
he's playing well. The
is Paulo a rookie? I'm sorry.
No,
he played last year. That's
there's a rookie on Orlando that's playing very well. Also, I can't think of his name. It's Dylan. It's late. It's 1:00 in the morning, Dylan.
That's my point, right? That's my point.
But he's on Orlando and he's playing very well. Also,
Anthony Black is his name.
I
know them. I'm also a fucking weirdo, right? So like, outside of like the first 3 picks in the draft, there's really only like 4 more who really like even managed to be anything off rip, right? So like, trying to get all these draft picks doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You hit on like 10% of the NBA draft. It's not the same as the NFL where you get starters in the fucking 5th round.
But if you hit, you hit.
If you hit, you hit. If you don't hit, then you're like, fuck it, throw this guy in the garbage.
Well, you can always get a Jokic. You can never count that out.
Granted, I could name on one hand the elite 2nd round players that have come out in the last 25 years. So
I believe you.
You can't always bank on a 2nd rounder to be the end all be all there, but like, you have to try to put yourself at least in a situation where you can gather the assets to a team who cares about the draft to then like, oh, this person's not happy. Oh, let me flip all these picks for a disgruntled star. That's the real value in draft picks. The value in draft picks is what they could be. Man, this 9-year-old right now who doesn't even know what's up. I'm trading that 9-year-old around right now for fucking Karl Anthony Towns.
Hey, man. Bronny James.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna do everything in my power to not have to give him a max contract. But
I would give him a max, but a 3-year 80. How much is that? 3-year 80.
No, if he wants 3 years, he wants 3 years 180.
That's tough.
Bron, you don't need that.
That's tough.
You got a lifetime Nike contract. You don't need that.
3 years.
You don't need it.
3-year 180 is tough.
Again, you have to put the GM hat on and say what's best for the franchise right now. So who knows?
I mean, we say that, and then he had 31, 9, and 4 tonight. So
again, we'll see when he's 40. We'll see when he's 40.
That's less than 12 months away.
Yeah, we'll see when he's 40 and his body may not fall apart, but
we're just waiting for the day when LeBron just becomes washed.
Listen,
all his haters are waiting for that.
They're waiting for it. But like, I never thought I was going to see Tim Duncan decline, and he did. He didn't have a massive fall off,
but he couldn't move. That was the problem. It wasn't that his skills deteriorated that much; he couldn't move. LeBron, no one takes care of his body. LeBron is still flying up the court like it's nothing.
That's why I'd love to see, I would love to see LeBron go to the Spurs. I would love to see LeBron go to the Spurs.
They're in no position to win.
Oh, well.
He wants to win.
And he goes to the Spurs, and you take care of the next generation. And you teach a guy like Wemby what's good. Take care of your body. And Wemby already a regimented freak, mind you. But you show him what it's like to be that next level of athlete where he takes care of himself. That's what I'd like to see him do. Because I know he's going to want to compete for a title, but you also never know what moves can be made where they all of a sudden ascend to that, and then LeBron's like, hey, Pop. What's up, Pop?
Or how about, hey, Tibbs, what's going on, Tibbs?
I don't think you guys would want that.
It depends. If we get him in free agency where we can just add him to the team, I'm all for it. If we have to blow the team up to get him, I'm not with that.
No.
But if we just get to add him, throw the franchise at him.
But I also don't like the idea of LeBron James on your team.
Throw the franchise at him.
Because I don't like the ball outside of Jalen Brunson's hands.
Throw the franchise at him.
Fuck roster construction, right? Fuck roster construction. Don't matter. It's LeBron
Don't
James.
care. One ring, don't care. We can be the Washington Wizards afterwards. I don't care.
Because in that scenario, Dylan, LeBron could legit take a backseat. He legit can take a backseat.
And there's shooters all around him.
Yep.
There's shooters.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, you're the Jet fan right now.
And
Rodgers, you're the Jet fan right now with Rodgers.
Throw the franchise at him.
But that's what makes his run even more impeccable. On top of that, is that he's never truly gotten the chance to take a back seat. AD's coming there from time to time, but LeBron has still had to carry the load. He still had to do it.
The actual problem I just thought about was Tim's going to run LeBron to the ground.
That's the scary part. That's the bad part. Tibbs will blow those tires.
Somebody has to. Christmas. You can't play forever.
Tibbs
then you'll see the
decline
decline that's the decline that you'll want to see, Dylan. Because Tibbs,
I don't want to see it that way. I don't want to see it that way.
Tibbs will make it happen.
I don't want to see it that way. That's like nightmare situations. Like, hey, LeBron, I need you to play fucking 42 minutes tonight, every night. What? I'm 40. You play a minute for your age.
Just go out there and do it.
That, as a Knicks fan, that would infuriate me if I had to watch LeBron play 43 minutes a night at 40 years old.
Ross wants him to play, 35? Ross said is the number.
But at 30, I get that, right? But there's some circumstances where he doesn't have to play that. But at 40 years old, like, as you get older, at some point, it's like, this man really is about to get a flat tire. Yeah. At some point, he's going to run over a nail. That tire's going to start to deflate a little bit.
And you want them tires that still have tread on them by the time we get to the playoffs.
Yep. And Tibbs going to ask him to play defense, play team defense on top of playing 43 minutes.
I just need him to do whatever it is Julius Randle does. That's all.
That's not that hard.
That's my point. I just need whatever that is that Julius Randle does on defense. That's what I need LeBron to do, and we'll be okay. I got enough dogs.
Yeah, but LeBron with the competitive nature, be like, "Nah, Tibbs, I got it."
I know, you're right.
And then he's just gonna bam, flat tire, brake pads replace, rotors, everything.
Let's get on out of here. Shout out to LeBron, GOAT James doing GOAT things. Also, shout out to my Indiana Pacers, because they are absolutely going to finish with more wins than the Magic. I'm standing on business. We got a 1-game lead. So what's going to happen? Because the fix is in. James is doing Magic 45 in the chat every time they win. But nevertheless, the Pacers have more wins than them, just like I said they would. And yes, they do. And when the Pacers finish with more wins than them,
they have the same amount of wins.
Maybe that's because of tonight. Did Orlando play tonight?
Yeah, Orlando won.
Okay, so they tied tonight.
Orlando's higher.
Because they played tonight. They played an extra game.
They played the same amount of games.
Then how are they higher if they have the same amount?
They have the higher seed.
But you said they have the same amount of wins.
They played the same amount. Listen, I don't know what the reasoning for the seeding is, but Orlando is the 6th seed. The Pacers are the 7th seed. I'm not making it up. I'll share my screen if I must. I don't make the rules, Michael. I just share with you.
All I know is the Pacers are going to finish with more wins than them.
What if they finish with the same amount of wins?
Is it 45?
Could be.
Then what's going to happen is...
They're only 10 games away. 10 wins away each.
What's going to happen is y'all are going to praise James for such a great pick and ignore my pick.
I'm not. I'm going to ignore both equally.
It's going to happen. It doesn't happen.
I'm going to ignore me. You're just bitter.
It doesn't happen in this chat.
You're bitter.
Everything James does is perfection.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Winning speakies for no reason.
That's not true at all. I will ignore the Magic 45 and the Pacers 45 equally, because everybody tried to capture the Magic of 40 wins, and we're all posers. We're all posers. So neither one of those will be nominated for a speakie. So I'm hating both of you equally.
All right. Ridiculous. You're lying. But let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Make sure that you hit that like, share, subscribe button. Follow us on every social media platform that you get your podcasts from. We are on everything. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, iHeartRadio, Amazon Radio, everything. We are everywhere. Audio and visual everywhere. Shout out to the fellas. Not here. We're in our fun part of the year where nothing's happening in sports and we're just gearing
Spring
ourselves
training,
up.
Baby.
Pitchers and catchers where James and Dylan will get unbelievably excited about somebody, and then
no, there's nobody who's gonna force their way on the roster. So
I hope so.
There's no like the guy I'd want would be Spencer Jones, but he's not ready. He's not ready yet. Like 2 years.
I will say this though, those Yankees, that City Connect concept that I saw in the chat, that should look nice.
I did not like that jersey.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like the
That
Bronx. I didn't like the way
you didn't like the Bronx?
I didn't like the way it looked on there. I don't mind the City Connect jersey, contrary to what James thinks, because I'm sitting here calling for the Yankees to wear blue tops every time we talk about it. I just don't go crazy about the free the beer thing. It's not a big deal to me like it is for James, but I've been wanting the Yankees to have different jerseys forever. So, but I think I saw that the Yankees weren't one of the teams picked for it. So, of course, exactly. I'm sure it'll be the Mets and the Dodgers. All the cool kids get the Mets aren't cool.
The Mets are the cool kids.
The Mets aren't cool. The
Mets are not cool.
But it'll be the Mets, the Dodgers, probably the Braves, the Marlins, because the Marlins have 19 jerseys. Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. There's got to be some AL teams. The Angels have done it a few times. Seattle's going to definitely do something because they're right up there where Nike is. So, and we'll see. I mean, at this point, we're all just preparing for the inevitable Dodgers, Braves, NLCS anyway.
You think it's gonna
wake me up in October when it's Dodgers, Braves, and the NLCS.
The way everybody talks about the Yankees fucking choking, the Dodgers are also notorious fucking chokers. So we'll see where it gets there.
I'm very curious on how this Dodger experience.
The Dodger dynamic, because Shohei's not pitching this year.
Doesn't matter. They are fucking loaded.
They are loaded. But they're loaded every year. They're
loaded every year, and they've never been loaded like this. Like, I can't remember a team being loaded like this since, like, the Yankees in the early 2000s. Like, this is crazy.
And we still lost.
We did still lost.
So, like, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. As long as Kershaw's still on that roster, he's good for a couple fuck-ups.
That's going to be very interesting because the Braves are still very good. They are very good. And, once the playoffs come around, Bryce Harper and Schwarber are going to turn into the Hulk again and start hitting balls to Jersey again. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see. We'll be here to keep you guys into it. Let's wrap it up. Do you need a solo, Anthony? We can just wrap it up.
We just wrap it up.
I don't think so. Yeah, we just wrap it up.
Anything I'm him this week? I'm him.
Cam Newton. Cam Newton's on him.
Not mad at it.
Not many him performances that are better than that.
Not mad at it.
Winning a fight that you were jumped in.
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. All right, so we will go. You got one, Anthony?
Yeah. I'm her, obviously, Caitlin Clark. Obviously. I'm him. I got to give it to Bron. Because even I got to acknowledge what he did against the Clippers was just insane. And again, we've been talking about how he's just defying father time. So this is just another display of it. So yes, he is. I'm him.
Okay. And with that, from us to you, as always, we wish you adieu and good night.